Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yo Nityamachyutapadam Bhuja Yugma Rukma Vyamohatastaditarani Trinaya Mene Asmad Guroho Bhagavato Siddhayai Kasindoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Prapadhye Yasya Smaranamatrena Dvaitavasana Pramuchyate Bodhatmakaya Namastasmai Bhagavate Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Hridakashe Sada Bhantam Shantam Anandarupinam Jnanabhanamaham Vande Sadgurum Shri Satyasayinam Mantrayaminam Satchidananda Swarupam Hridyastiti Sada Bhati Priyam Nikila Nigamarthasaram Yasya Suramani Janavandyapadaabjadvandvam Bhakta Chittabhiramam Yatta Prasarati Parimala Prema Pravaham Tameva Mama Sarvam Viharati Prashanti Nilaye Sakshat Brahmatattvam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Shri Govindaya Namo Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Vamsi Vibhushita Karat Navaniradabhat Pitambara Tarunabimba Phalo Daroshtat Purnendu Sundaramukat Aravindanetrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jani Gopika Jeevanasmaranam Tasam Avirabhuchauri Smayamanaya Mukhambujaha Pitambara Shragvi Sakshat Manmata Manmatahan. When the Gopikas forgot themselves, when the identity was lost in Krishna Prema, Bhagavan in Krishna Avataram made it so easy for us to lose our identity. Love me, how? However you want to now. In whatever manner you want to connect with me, love me in that manner. The love that you have for me transcends the body, the mind, the intellect, goes straight to the source, the Atma. Even if you don't care for Atma Jnana, and you say, I want only prema, I don't want jnana nalum, even if you say that, this prema comes from the Atma and merges in the Atma. So this Premadvaitam, Advaita through prema, oneness through love happens. Whether you want that oneness to happen or not, it happens. Because what is the purpose of any love? What is the purpose of any love? No matter what you love, what do you want? You want that object, that person, that thing to be with you. That is a point of love. If you love somebody, you want to be with them. You want to not be separated from them, you want to be with them. That is the whole purpose, point of love. Love wants to make two things one. Love wants to make duality into one. Dvaitata Advaitamakardam Premayoda Velaye. People think Bhakti Margam is not related to Advaita. Bhakti is not related to Advaita, they think. And how can that be? The point of love itself is to bring two and make it into one. Otherwise, two will remain separately. Why love? Love is love. Therefore, trying to make the two into one is what Swami calls as Premadvaitam, the term that Swami has coined for it, which I have never heard anywhere else. Bhagavan introduces it. Krishnavatarathala Bhagavan, in Krishnavataram, Swami enacted Premadvaitam. In Swami Avataram, Krishna speaks about Premadvaitam. Anga action, inga speech. What was done is being recounted and he says Premadvaitam. Becoming one in Prema, the Gopikas show us how to do it. Radha shows the Gopikas how to do it. She says, very easy. If you want to become one with Krishna, what should you do? Forget yourself. Naam udiyad nilai, naam aduvai ulla nilai. Appadina Ramana Bhagavan says in Ulladhanarpadu. That state in which the I does not arise is the state in which we remain as that. That is Krishna. I is this individual. If this I does not arise, then what is left is only Krishna. Adan Krishna Sayujyam. That is the real merger with Krishna. Because that is difficult for us to understand, Bhagavan enacted this entire drama with the Gopikas. As though he is one person, the Gopikas are others, and then they come together in love. That is all we understand in a human perspective. We are all we consider ourselves to be individuals, therefore two individuals loving each other. Adanala Bhagavan enacts it out that way. The entire Rasa Leela is happening in the heart. Hridaya Vrindavanatala Rasam is happening. Yamuna is the Pravaham, Prema Pravaham is Yamuna. That great flood of love is Yamuna. Vrindavanam is nothing but the Hridayam itself. Adila Bhagavan is the Atma, Antaryami. But Gopikas are yaru. Now what are Gopikas? All the thoughts that arise in our mind are all the Gopikas. The thoughts that arise in us are Gopikas. What are these thoughts about? What are these thoughts for the Gopikas about? Only Krishna. They are only thinking about Krishna. They are living for Krishna. Everything is Krishna. If all our thoughts also become Krishna Mayam, what will happen to us? Manasu tanuvu sarvam gurumurte aite mahanandamanta manasampadale sai rupa dhyanam sai nama smaranam. Which comes first? Sai nama smaranam Sai Rupa Dhyanam. Or is it Sai Rupa Dhyanam Sai Nama Smaranam Sada Maaku Iha Paralana Sagu Sadhanam Sai Nama Smaranam. Alochanalanni Sai Mayame Aite. Alochanalanni Sai Mayame Aite Avedanalevi Manakundavule. If all our thoughts are only about Bhagavan, there will be no Avedana, there will be no sorrow for us in life. Manasu tanuvu sarvam gurumurte aite. If the mind, the body, everything becomes Guru Murti, belonging to the Guru, made of the Guru, Mahanandamanta Manasampadale. Great Ananda becomes our property, great Ananda becomes our nature. Sada Bhagavadhyanam, Sada Bhagavan Namasmaranam. If you spend time like this, then what will happen? The Mahanandam will come to us. And the Anandathan ninge Tavasama Virabu Chauri Smayamana Mukham Bhujaha Pitambara Darasragvi Sakshad Manmata Manmatahan. Bhagavan appears there in all his glory, all his splendor, all his charm. Bhagavan can appear in many ways. Bhagavan can appear as Kala Rupa also. Bhagavan can appear as Manmata Manmatha also, depending upon who he is coming to visit. If he is coming to see Hiranyakashipu, Bhagavan will become Narasimha. If he is coming to see Gopikas, Bhagavan will become Manmatha Manmatha. depending upon our bhava, Bhagavan will also take the form as is the nature of the bhakta's heart. Bhagavan comes in this beautiful, adorable, charming form. Now they don't want to let go of him. They pounce on him. They pounce on him, they catch hold of him tightly. One went up to Krishna and held his right palm with both her hands. You cannot go. Another one lifted his left hand and put it on her own shoulder. Another one caught hold of his feet. They were all catching hold of him. Another one, at a distance, she's standing and looking at Bhagavan as though she's going to drink him up with her eyes. Tanmukam bhujam api tamapi na tripyat santas charanam yatha. Even looking at him with unwinking eyes, she was not satisfied, like the devotees who are doing pada seva to Bhagavan but are not satisfied. When somebody, Bhagavan gives his feet to somebody, they will never let go of that feet. Bhagavan shouldn't pour me, I've got work to do now. They will not leave. They are not satisfied. No matter how much they have it, they are not satisfied. We know that experience. We know that bhava when we were with Swami. We saw him every day. We saw him all the time. We held on to him all the time, but we never let go of him still. Tam kachin netrarandhrena hridikritya nimilyacha pulakanga yupuguhyaste yogivananda sampluta. Another one looked at Bhagavan, trying to draw Bhagavan into her heart. She wants to draw Bhagavan into her heart and feeling so much happy. The entire body was filled with joy like a yogi attaining samadhi. All of them felt so much ananda in Bhagavan's presence, Bhagavaname, feeling the joy of being with his devotees. Bhagavan started to dance and sport. Shuka compares the joy of the Gopikas to the samadhi of the yogi, the jnana of the jnani. Just like the illumined ones go beyond the mind with the help of the Upanishadic revelation that happens within them, like that the gopis went beyond the thought. You can use the Upanishadic revelation, Mahavakyam of the Upanishad to go beyond, or you can have the Upanishadic Brahman standing in front of you also and go beyond. Upanishad is Bhagavan's words. Krishna no Bhagavan Swayameva Bhagavan. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayamana, Bhagavan is standing there. Is there anything to be surprised that the Gopikas went beyond all the stage of all thoughts? Samadhi sthiti dhaan inge rasam nu solrathu. Rasalila is samadhi. As they were singing and dancing with him, they all sat down, surrounded him. Bhagavan parthi kekara, they are asking Bhagavan with an anger born out of love. He left and went till when he was not here, there was no possibility of any anger when he had left. Only crying. Now that he is here, then anger comes from him. Why did you leave us and go? But how can you directly accuse him of that? They try to do it in a different way. What follows is a Prema Gita. We've heard about Bhagavad Gita, we've heard about Uddhava Gita, we've heard about Vashishta Gita, we've heard Ashtavakara Gita. Prema Gita is a Gita that occurs only in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, in Rasa Panchadhyayi. Bhagavan gives a discourse to the Gopikas. Gopikas ke enna discourse kudukanum. What kind of discourse will be appropriate to the Gopikas? How to attain the Brahman? They've already attained the Brahman. Nature of the Brahman, they are holding the Brahman in their hands. Nobody needs to explain the nature of the Brahman to them. Yoga sadhana, now, purpose of sadhana is already sitting on their laps. There is no need of any yoga sadhana for them. What can we speak with them now? The only thing that is appropriate to speak with the Gopikas is Prema. Then Bhagavan speaks to them about love. The Gopikas ask Bhagavan, Krishna, in this world we find that some people love others according to as they are loved in return. Parasparam love, mutual love. I love you, you love me. As much as you love me, I will love you. Love. In contrast, there are those who love them even if there is no love coming back from them in return, they will continue to love that person. Love. They're the third category. No matter what, they don't love anybody. A, B, C nu vechava. Option A, option B, option C. Which one do you belong to? Appadinu pottava. Bullet point போட்டு multiple choice மாதிரி வச்சா, Krishna, which category do you belong to? Those who love according to as much as they are loved back. Those who love no matter how much love they receive. Those who do not love no matter what. 3 categories. Which one do you belong to? Bhagavan chirichinna. Bhagavan said, in the case of mutual love, where love is returned for love received, both sides are motivated only by selfishness. Swarthartham. I love you because it is of some use to me, gives some joy to me. You love me because it is of some joy to you. Ida mostly we see in this world common. The real love kadayadu nutta. Na tatra saukritam dharmaha. Adu premaye kadayadu. That is not love at all. That is just mutual transaction. Second category that you spoke about, those who love irrespective of whether they are loved or not. In that category, there are people that are by nature loving and kind. They will love everybody. Like parents. Like our parents. Parents love us no matter what we do or don't do to them. Parental love is of that nature. There is a third one which you spoke about, those who do not love anybody no matter what. Who belongs to that? There are quite a few people that belong to that category. Three people belong to that category. One are the Atma Ramas, Jnanis. They don't love anybody. Jnanis do not love anybody because they are always absorbed in the self. For them, everybody is included in the self. There are no others for them to love. They do not love anybody. Swami once gave a discourse on his birthday. And he said, so many of you have come. You all have come because you love me. But I do not love any of you. I do not love any of you. I don't know how the translator translated it. I don't love anybody. Swami, everybody comes for you. You love all serva, love all serva. I don't love anybody. Now what is this? Swami clarified, I don't love anybody because there is nobody other than me. I alone exist. All of you are me. What is there to, who is there to love? Appadinu Swami. Jnanis are in this state. The second category are those who are aptakamas. They don't have any wants. They don't have any dealings with anybody. They don't have any dealings with anybody. Therefore, they don't love anybody. The தலையை குனிஞ்சிட்டே சில பேர்லாம் போவான்னு சொன்னேனே அந்த மாதிரி பயம் அவளுக்கு இங்கே மாட்டிட்டு போகிறோம் ஜடபரதன் மாதிரி. Unnecessarily will get caught in something. No need. Put your head down, keep walking. Don't look at anybody. Don't love anybody. No need. Trap, attachment. அப்படின்னு ஜாக்கிரதையாக இருப்பா. அவள் ஒரு கேட்டகரி. Then the third within this third category, the third class within the third category are those who are ungrateful wretches by nature. Demons. No matter how much love you give them, they will gobble you up for all the love. Shurpanaka அப்படித்தான் இருந்தா. Shurpanaka பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா ராமாயணத்தில். Shurpanaka, what would she do அப்படின்னா, with great, somebody comes to her with great love அப்படின்னா, she will also say thank you, come, I will eat you அப்படின்னு. அவள் லவ் எல்லாம் கிடையாது அவளுக்கு. அப்போ these are the 3 classes within the third category. So first category Bhagavan சொன்னா, commonly we find everywhere in this world, 99% of this world has got mutual love based on transaction only. If I don't get any love from you anymore, I will stop loving you. Second category, to which parents and naturally kind altruistic people, they will just be kind to you for no reason. That is their nature. They will be kind. Third category, 3 classes. One are the jnanis, other are those who are very cautious, not wanting to get caught in any traps. The last category are the brutes that do not know how to love. You gave these 3 options and you asked me which one do I belong to. Fourth option, nota, none of the above. None of the above. Bhagavan Channa, I don't belong to any of these things. Naham tasakyor bharjato pijantun. Bhagavan Channa, I do not belong to any of these categories. Even in regards to those who love me, I seem to keep myself away from them without requiting their love back to them. Because it is only by doing so that the love that they have for me will grow through constant meditation. Bhagavan gives the example, it is the case of a poor man who has lost all his wealth. The only thing he can think about is what he has lost. To the exclusion of all things, he will only think about what he has lost. Their human nature, what you have, you think less of. What you do not have, you think more of. If you don't have something, you think more of that only. If you have lost something, you will keep thinking only about that until it is found. So many things are there. No, where did I keep that? Where did I keep that? Where did I keep that? At the end of the day, pencil. What is it are you looking for? A small pencil. And the pencil, where did it go? Where did it go? And no matter, even if you cannot find it and you're going back to trying to do your normal work, still mind is on that only. We tend to think about what is not there rather than what is there. Adanala Bhagavan says, if I am there, then you may not think about me. I keep myself away so that you meditate upon me constantly. In your case also, friends, Sakhihale, my friends, I kept myself away from you only so that I can strengthen the longing that you have for me. You have left everything for me, your name, your prospects, your position, everything in this world you left for my sake and you came to me. Even what the Vedas promise to you by following dharma in your next birth, even that you have left for my sake and come அப்படின்னா iham param எல்லாத்தையும் விட்டுட்டு வந்தாச்சு. Ihamutra phalaboga viraga அப்படின்னு Shankaracharya speaks about it in Viveka Chudamani. What is Vairagya? அப்படின்னா giving up the prospects here and hereafter for the sake of that. You have given up everything and you have come to me. In spite of that, I disappeared from your vision. Bhagavan சொன்னா I went away னு சொல்லல, நான் பரோட்சமாயிட்டேன். I disappeared from your vision. Don't use it as grounds for complaining against me. I only did it so that I could increase the longing, that great depth of bhakti that you have got, அதை நீ increase பண்ணணுமேங்கிறதுக்காக I did that. Now see what has happened. This is the goal for Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not happy to see us cry. But sometimes that crying alone can purify us. அழுதால் உன்னை பெறலாமே என்று சொன்னார் மாணிக்க வாசகர். I don't know what else to do, but if I cry, I know I can attain you. Why? Because Bhagavan cannot bear to see our crying. Illa, because the crying purifies us. And then there's no more reason for him to keep himself away. He comes. So Bhagavan says to these girls, do not complain or hold this as a point of complaint against me. Anna, here is the truth. The love that you have for me, ippudi oru prema koduthirukele. Naparayeham niravadya samyujam swasad krityam vibudayushapi vaha. Yama bhajan durjaragre gehash shrinkalaha samvrishya tadva pratiyatu sadhuna. Bhagavan Channan, but at the same time, the love that you have shown towards me, the love that you have for me, which has transcended all selfishness, it is free from every blemish of selfishness. Niravadya samyujam, free from all selfishness. You do not love me because I can do something for you. Even when I went away from you, you loved me. Krishna was with me. Krishna gave joy to me. I love Krishna. When Krishna abandoned you in the forest also, you loved me. No matter how many births are taken, even a lifetime of the gods cannot be equal for me to repay this prema that you are showing me. I cannot in any way fully repay this prema that you have shown me. Adinala, but I still have to do something. Therefore, the prema that you have for me, let that prema itself be its own reward. Abdina Bhagavan gave them a boon. If suppose Bhagavan had asked them to seek a boon, what would they have said? Bhagavan has the experience. Oru Prahlada nodu porun aidutha Bhagavan. Bhagavan faced one Prahlada and had to be defeated. Inge there are so many gopikas. What do you want? He knows he will be beaten back. Already he is black and blue. So Bhagavan knows. He says, I will not ask you what you want in return. Nor is there anything I can give you in return. The prema that you have is your greatest reward for the prema that you have. Bhagavan gives them this Prema Gita, or a beautiful message of prema. What does this show? For jnanis, what do they seek? There's nothing that they seek. Adanala, the jnana itself is the reward for the jnani. The prema itself is a reward for the premi. Jnani is not different to the premi. Jnani alone actually can be the true premi. And the true premi automatically becomes a jnani. I mean, prema, and the Mari, if he attains such a prema, he automatically becomes eligible for jnana. Anichan api, even if he doesn't ask, he's already subscribed for jnana. Part of that package, subscription included. You're jnani. And the Madri, if he is exclusively focusing only on jnana and he attains jnana, adla smaller or box subscription to prema included. That is why somebody like Ramana Bhagavan can look at Arunachala and he says, Malayalit Arunachala Ramanayal Malayanindarul Arunachala. What is Aksharamanamala? Aksharamanamala is a Tamil version of Gopika Geetam. Sometimes. So many of those are the parallels you can find in Gopika Geetam, those that are present in Aksharamanamala. Bhagavan, Ramana Bhagavan Madri, or Jnani, Advaita Jnani is speaking to Arunachala like the Gopikas can speak to Krishna. What does it mean? Kanchi Mahapariva, who took up sannyasa at the age of 13 years of age and lived the life of the absolute pure sannyasi all the way up to 99.9 years of age. Almost 100. Uruvara ana 100. Konjanala ana 100. Appadi varikkum ponar. And Mahapariva commented about this Rasa Panchadhyayi on one occasion. He said, my sannyasa attained completion when I studied Rasa Panchadhyayi. When I understood the bhava of the gopikas, my sannyasa attained completion. Jnana attains completion when you study the bhava of the gopikas. The gopikas did not think of Krishna as any individual. Nakalu gopika nandano bhavan akila dekhinam antaratma dirkun. The first people to recognize Krishna as being the antaryami were only the gopikas of Vrindavan. It is only later on that the rishis, Vyasa alla aprandane vanda. Vyasa, Bhishma, Shuka, etc. all came later on. Who came first in Krishna's life? Gopikas came, and these Gopikas already recognized his divinity. Chadharna divinity, you are avatarnu sholala. You are Bhagavan come in an avatarmu sholala. Antaratma sholala. You are the Atma. You are Brahman. Now in the Gopavadus yaru abdina Upanishad Stri nu solradhu. Narayaniyathila in Śrīmad Narayaniyam, which is the summary of the Bhagavatam, Bhattadri says right at the end, Krishna, you are surrounded by all these Gopika Stris of Allah. Who are these now? Upanishad Stris in children. Upanishads have taken the form of Gopikas and are surrounding you. So there is no dearth of jnana in these Gopikas. But they chose to express that jnana in the form of prema. Jnanis choose to express prema in the form of jnana. Premis choose to express jnana in the form of prema. The carnival of rasa took place, the rasa leela took place. The rasotsavam nu solrar. Shukare enna solrar appadina Shuka calls it the great festival of rasa. Rasotsavaha sampravritto gopi mandalamanditaha yogeshwarena krishnena tasam madhye dvayor pravishtena grihitanam kante svanikatham striyaha. Abdiye they all arrange themselves in a circle. Adha rasa mandalam abdina, it is a circle. And in that circle, eppadi irundhathu appadina rasotsava sampravrittaha, the great festival called Rasa started. Gopi mandalam, adala gopis all stood in a circle. Adala yogeshwarena krishnena, Bhagavan Sakshat Yogeshwaran. How was he appadina? Tasam madhye, in between all of them, dvayoho, between each pair of gopis there was a Krishna. Between each pair of gopis there was a Krishna. Gopi, Nadula Krishna. Gopi, Nadula Krishna. Abadina, for each gopi there was a Krishna. Between two gopis there was a Krishna. Adanaladan Idayan Chonada. Yen Idayanavan Abdina, Yena, Rendu Gopi Edaler Kanolio, Adanala Edayan Abdination. Between each pair, Pravishtena, Bhagavan entered. Rendu pair nadula Bhagavan enters into each pairs of gopis. Gritanam Kante Svanikatam Striyaham, and embrace them by the neck. இப்படி கை அப்படி ஒன்று போட்டுண்டா, இப்படி ஒரு கையை போட்டுண்டா அரவுண்ட் தேர் ஷோல்டர்ஸ் அண்ட் ஹெல்ட் தம் க்ளோஸ் லைக் திஸ். இப்படி எவ்ரி கோபி இஸ் பீங் ஹெல்ட் பை கிருஷ்ணா. அப்படி ஒரு ராசமண்டலம். On seeing Bhagavan dance in this manner, all the devas and their consorts, all the apsaras, all of them gathered in the skies to watch this wonderful dance. The divine instruments started to play, a shower of flowers happened from the heavens. Adala அப்படியே ஆடுறாளாம், they are dancing. Vedanta Ritya Shonnomanal, between every thought and another thought, there is a silence. Between two thoughts, in the gap between two thoughts, there is a silence. If you want to find that silence, what should you do? Observe the gap, the interval between thoughts in Swami Chalvar. Between the waking state and the sleep state, there is a silence. Adhilathaan the Sat is present. That is where the Atma is present. If you can spot that gap between two thoughts, you will find the self in that. We are not able to see the self because we are jumping rapidly from thought to thought. If you pause a thought and before the next thought comes, or a silence irukkume, that is the entire method of who am I, the inquiry that Bhagavan speaks about and who am I is. When a thought comes, ask yourself the question, who is having this thought? The answer will come, I am having this thought. Then ask the question, who am I? Appo there will be a silence. Remain in that silence until the next thought comes. Follow the same procedure. Go back to the silence. In order to draw our attention to that silence, is who am I is a method. The equally powerful another method is Nama Japa. You chant the name, there is a silence. Chant the name, there is a silence. Chant the name, there is a silence. The name is Gopi, the silence is Krishna. The thoughts are the gopis, the silence is Krishna. And the continuous substratum irukke and the Atma Swarupam adan Krishna. Sutre Manigana iva appadina Bhagavan gives the example in the Bhagavad Gita. There is a male, like a male like this. So many beads are there, but in running in between the beads is this thread, the sutra. That sutra is continuous, but it is not seen. It is only ever seen between the gap between these two beads. But these beads represent the gopis and the sutram represents Krishna. All these gopis are hung on the thread called Krishna. All creation is hung on the thread called God. God therefore is in us and on both sides of us. We become this bead, if we become a single bead, God is inside us and on both sides of us. Where is he not? But when we are only looking at the beads, we will not look at that. Swami used to give a very funny example. Somebody went and asked the clock, it seems. The clock was going tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, and continuously it was going tick tock. But somebody went and asked the clock, oh clock, are you not tired? Don't you get exhausted? You are continuously ticking and talking. But the clock said, why? Between every tick and every talk, I get a rest. I get rest between every tick and every talk. Between that two TikToks, I have a silence. Like that, between all our thoughts, there is a silence. And once you are able to understand the silence that exists between thoughts, you will be able to understand the silence that pervades thoughts also. Even when there are thoughts, there is silence. That silence that is existing when there are thoughts, you will not be able to find out. Only if you pay attention to the silence in between the thoughts will you become familiar with that silence. Thereafter you will be able to find it even when thoughts are going on. That is when you have truly transcended thought and have reached the sahaja sthiti, the natural state of samadhi. Until then you will want to go into a focused, time-bound samadhi period, samadhi state. I will close my eyes and be in samadhi. There is no need for that. You are always in samadhi. But because we can't understand that, we are asked to meditate and find that silence, become familiar with that silence. Then you will recognize that silence even in the midst of thought. Customer liya, hard to understand liya. Therefore, Bhagavatam says, between two gopis there was a Krishna. And he danced. This I can understand. Between two thoughts there is a silence. Between two gopis there is a Krishna. Another Bhagavatam makes it like that. Adedha Bhagavatam is speaking Vedantam only. Bhagavatam is speaking the highest Advaita da. In fact, Bhagavatam speaks more Advaita than Yoga Vasishtam nu solluva. Bhagavatam perhaps speaks more Advaitam than even Upanishad nu solluvalam. Appadi oru depth irukku Bhagavatathila. That Bhagavatam is presenting that as though it is a story. Those with little minds will not be able to understand that it is only a story. Therefore, they will say there is no Advaitam in Bhagavatam. There is no philosophy in Bhagavatam. That is story dane ennu solluva. Story illa. It is the truth, highest truth. Not only it is a theoretical exposition of the truth, it is actually a practical application of the truth to how do we attain the truth. Appadina இந்த கோபிகைக்கு இந்த கோபிக்கு நடுவில் கிருஷ்ணன் இருக்கானே என்ன. Between these two thoughts there is Krishna. Between everything there is Krishna. He is alone is omnipresent. Nrityanti gayati kachit kujan nupura mekhala, singing and dancing. Gopyo labda chutakanta shriya ekanta vallabham. They have attained Bhagavan himself. Adanal appadi and ekantathil irkalam. They are in a sense of solitude, even though there is so many people that are present, all the gopikas are present, still there is solitude. Each gopi and Bhagavan seem to be a separate unit. Then are there two? Are there still two now? After speaking so much, if you ask that question, are there still two now? What can we say? Where is two? Only in your sight there is two. Neither the gopis saw two, nor did Krishna see two. For them there was only one. Appa enga two. Ibadiya, the Lord played Cholra, Arakha Cholra. Shuka explains it so beautifully. The Vada Shuka cannot explain it. Vada Cholra Parango. Bhagavan played with these Vrajasundaris. Re me Ramesho Vrajasundari Yat Sundari Bihi Yatha Arbakaha Swapratibimba Vibramaha. Enna Vakyam. Ramesha abadina Lord of Rama. Ramana Mahalakshmi. Lakshmi's husband is Ramesh. Rama's Isha Ramesha. Re me Ramesh. Ramesha played with Yarunna Vrajasundari bihi, with all these Vrajasundaris. These beauties of Vraja, he played with them. Yatha, how? Appadina. Just as a boy plays with his own reflection in the mirror, Bhagavan played with the Gopikas. Idukku mela Advaitaman. How did Bhagavan play with Gopikas? Like a boy. Even boy dane. Even boy. Innum boy dane. Balamukundam dane. This boy is playing. How? Looking at his own reflection. Adu me ingo etiya pannu apdi oru naaka neetum etiya konashta pannungalo only kozhandai. Specific boy nu solra. Ena girl na avazhagu paathupo. If it is a girl child, she will stand in front of the mirror and put this clothes, put that clothes, இப்படி நின்னு அப்படி நின்னு அழகு பார்க்கும். Boys won't do all of that. அது கொனஷ்ட பண்ணும். What will boys do? They'll make faces in front of the mirror to look at themselves. And the Madri Valayadranam Bhagavan is playing with the gopis as though a boy plays with his own reflection in the mirror. Abdina, how did Bhagavan see the gopikas? Did Bhagavan see them as others? Bhagavan saw them. Mamaivam Shahana. Bhagavan is seeing them as his own reflection. Appadi Valayadranam Bhagavan. Enna azhagu pathela. Shuka leaves nothing to chance. Lest there be people of little intellect studying it, he says, even for them he explains it. Apadiya kritva tavantamatmanam yavati gopayoshitaha reme sa bhagavan stabihi atma ramapi Atma Ramopi Leelaya. Atma Ramana Arkakudiya Bhagavan who is already self-satisfied and contented, is playing with all these gopis. Ibadiya, beautiful. Bliss of the self was what was enjoyed by all of them. They spent one night. They spent one night with Bhagavan, and the one night was like an entire Kalpa Kalam. And the Madri, several nights of Sharat Kalam was spent in this manner. Each night that Bhagavan spent with them was like Bhagavan time. And what is time to Bhagavan? Time ella compress pannippan. He simply wiped out one year from the history of time illaya. And the madri, what did Bhagavan do appadina? He took an entire night and made it so long that there were no concept of time. In Anyatha Sharanam Nasti, the book that is written about Swami's Leelas in the young days, they speak about a Rasa Leela. They speak about a Rasa Leela. There is a place called Tulasi Vanam. Tulasi Van appadinu or idam. In those days, Swami planted Tulasi leaves there. It is fairly inaccessible. Somebody told me about it once in Patti, so I went there. It is behind the hills. Apadiye nirjanam. No one is there. And there is such a silence. There was such an extraordinary silence you could feel there. I sat there for a while and meditated. And the Tulasi Vanathala, Bhagavan took all these devotees of those early days, men and women, everybody went there and he spent some time with them, and suddenly everybody felt as though there was a Swami with them. They were whirling around in a dance, faster, faster, faster. All sense of time was forgotten. Everything was forgotten. They asked, later on they asked Swami, what was that? And Swami said that was Rasa Leela. This is how Rasa Leela was. This is how I played Rasa Leela with the gopis. Those who got that opportunity with Swami, who are they? Kali Yuga Gopis. Rasa transcends space, transcends time, transcends thought, transcends body, transcends these limitations of individuality. It is simply the state of being the Atma. Appadipata Rasa Leela Bhagavan played and danced with them, along with them. They say, after finishing Rasa Panchadhyaya, 5 chapters on Rasa Leela with Bhagavan, Vikriditam Vrajavadubihi Vadubiridam cha Vishnoho Shraddhanvito Nushrunuyadata Varnayetyaha Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilambya Kamam Hritrogam Apahinoti Achirena Dhiraha. He who hears this rasa, the account of Bhagavan's beautiful dalliance with all of these Vrajavadubihi, the sport of Bhagavan with these gopikas, he who faithfully with Shraddha listens to it or recites it, what will happen? Will acquire supreme bhakti towards Bhagavan, will transcend the great Hridaya Roga, the disease of the heart. Heart disease, cardiac disease is chalala. What is the disease of the heart? Desire is the disease of the heart. The desire disease they will transcend by listening to Rasam. That is why Paramacharya says, it is only by reading Rasa Panchadhyayi my sannyasam attained fruition. What is sannyasa? Transcending all desire. Jnanam dane sannyasam. How did you attain it? Through Rasam I attained it. Appadi oru Rasa Panchadhyayi. Which will you do? Several kuti leelas are enacted by Bhagavan thereafter. Shankachudanu, or fellow, comes and does some mischief. He is conquered by Bhagavan. Sudarshananu, or then he is cursed fellow. He is saved by Bhagavan. Varuna's messengers take Nandagopa and go away. Bhagavan brings him back. Goes to Varunaloka, gives darshan to everybody there and brings Nandagopa back. Keta Varuna had his people kidnap Nandagopa. When Bhagavan went there and said, hey, release my father, I wanted you to come to my house. I don't know how to bring you here, so I kidnapped your dad. Now I have your darshan. Swami, please sit down. Take my hospitality. You can go back up with your father later on. Bhagavan does all of these leelas. Arishtasurani comes in the form of a bull. And he is also killed by Bhagavan. When all of this was happening, Bhagavan had finished all that which he had come to do in Vrindavana. Bhagavan had come to Vrindavana mainly for giving grace to all of these people who deserved that prema from him. Nanda and Yashoda prayed for Parabhakti, therefore Bhagavan made them his parents and spent time with them. Gopas and Gopis wanted to love him, therefore he spent time with them. The Viprapatnis yearned for him, he went and gave them grace. Brahma wanted to see a Leela, he showed Brahma Leela. Indra was humbled, all the things that he had to do were done. Adanala, next phase of Bhagavan's avataram is to happen. Nala Bhagavan wanted to get it started. Nala Bhagavan called Narada. Bhagavan sent word to Narada. Narada appeared in front of Bhagavan. Swami, go and do the needful. Epabar Narada Bhagavan Kaik. Takkanu Vadamana. When Devaki's children were to be born, Apom Narada was the one who came and made sure all of them died. Narada was the one who made sure that all of those sons of Marichis went back to their Devaloka. Now Krishna Avataram has to move to the next phase. Bhagavan called Narada and he said, do the needful. Narada straight went to Kamsa's house. As soon as Kamsa saw Narada, he said, what? If you come after a long time, please come, my best friend Vango. Ana confused when he put I unnecessarily killed 6 people, 6 children. Narada said, you have not unnecessarily killed anybody. Do you know that the 8th child of Devaki is alive and kicking along with the 7th child of Devaki? 2 bombshells at one go. 8th child is alive and kicking along with the 7th child. Another 7th child was transferred to Rohini. And the fellow who is passing off as Yashoda's son is actually Devaki's son, Krishna. They have been entrusted to Nandagopa out of fear of you. Yashodayaha sutam kanyam devakyaha krishname vacha ramam cha rohini putram vasudevena bibyata nyastau swamitre nandevai abhyam te purushahataha. They are the ones who are born to kill you. They are growing up there. Bhagavan is instructing him to do it. Narada will not care about what other people say. Generally in our folklore, especially in Tamil and all, we say Naradar Kalaham. Narada will always go and foment trouble. People gave a bad name to Narada. We did not know. As a child, when I grew up, always Narada was his mischief maker. It is only after I read the Bhagavatam Ramayanam and so on and so forth, I realized what a great Bhakta Shikhamani Bhagavatottama Narada is. How could we speak so low of him? Anal Narada does not care what anybody says. He is directly dealing with Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, go play this role. Now he plays. He doesn't care about pros and cons of that. So he went and told this truth about Bhagavan's presence in Vrindavanam. Kamsa became very angry. He became very angry. He wanted to go and kill Vasudeva for having deceived him in this manner. I thought you were an honest man. Narada stopped him. Don't do anything to him. Yeah, why not? The only reason why you are alive till today. Do you know how many people you sent? Do you know how many people you sent? Kamsa phone book. Kamsa had a phone book, address book. A lot of names had been deleted of late. Last name. Everybody had the same last name. Yenna Baka Sura, Arishta Sura, Agha Sura, Vyoma Sura, Ella Surasta. All these Asuras were all friends of Kamsa. Kamsa has been sending each one, you go find out who that fellow, you go find out. None of them came back also. After some time, he's been deleting all those names. Names nobody is left. KC no OC la. The Pakame Polia, the OC fellow, another case is nobody else is there. Apo Narada said, you know, all those people you sent Vrindavan way, what happened to them? Nobody came back. He killed everybody. He killed everybody. The only reason why he's left you alive is because you have not touched Vasudeva and Devaki. You do anything, next instant, like a thunderbolt, he will fall on your head. Jakarden now. Adanala Kamsa was a bit afraid. Marana Bhayam Mikulavan. Adanala he did not want to hasten his death. Adanala he imprisoned them once again. He put them in fetters lest they escape. Bolting the gate after the horses bolted in Alolio. And the Madri shutting the gate, horses gone. Anyway, he put Devaki and Vasudeva in prison. And then he thought, if I let go, if I sit passively, things will not work. I've got to take an active interest in this. Proactive. Engyo pair kampao. Work amchirka edo. Soft skill training. Proactiveness, assertiveness, allang kathunu duta. Adanal, I will not simply take it sitting down. I will proactively start doing things. I will trap him in such a way that I will have him under my control in my situations where I can crush him to pieces. He made a big plan. Adanal, he called advisors, whether some few people were left. All the asuras had gone, only some wicked human were left. Mushtika, Chanura, Shala, Toshala, wrestlers, they were big body fellows. He said, look, I heard that Vasudeva and Devaki's sons are growing up in Nanda's village. We will bring them here and we'll kill them. Arrangements. I will create a big yajna. I will do a yajna, Dhanur yajna. For that I will invite Nandagopa. Nandagopa has to come, is my subject. I will invite all of them. Specifically, I will send somebody to invite Krishna. And when he comes, we will have layer after layer after layer of killing traps for him. He had an elephant called Kuvalayapida. Kuvalayapida is a huge elephant. As it can cause torture to the earth itself, Kuvalayapida is Kuvalayamna earth, Pida na torture. It was a torture to the earth. He called that Mahout of Kuvalayapida, the elephant owner, the elephant keeper. He called him and said, hey, how is Kuvalayapida? As usual, it is terrible. Terrible temper it had. I'm going to organize a great yajna. My enemy is coming. I want you to station this elephant outside the city, outside the main gates. Gate of that big Arangam. There's going to be a big sacrificial arena. Outside that, you station this elephant and don't give it any food, give it only liquor. And torture it by all means and make it very angry so that as soon as my enemy comes, it will go and trample him to death. He called all these wrestlers and said, you fellows will have to make sure that you are. As soon as this fellow comes, you destroy him. Called all his guards and security army, etc., had them all stationed. Still, he was not satisfied. Keshi, an old horse, was there. He called that fellow and he said, Keshi, you have not done any good job for me. Go to Vrindavan, kill that Krishna. Then he called Akrura. Who's Akrura? Akrura was one of the Yadavas. Many of the Yadavas had left and gone to other neighboring countries after looking at Kamsa's evil doing. A few people were still left. Why? Akrura was one of them. Our pere Akrura. Krura means cruel. The English word cruel comes from Krura. And he was a Krura. He was not a cruel man. He was a Krura. Negation of it. He was not at all cruel. Very kind man. Why did he stay back instead of evacuating Mathura? Because the citizens of Mathura were there. He was a well-wisher of all of them. He said, at least if I am there in a government post, I will look after these people. Otherwise, all of them will have to suffer under Kamsa's rule. He was very honest. He was very virtuous. He was the Dhanadipati. Dhanadipati, he was in charge of charities. Kamsa's Dhanapati. Dhanapati in Veravarka, he was in charge of all the charitable endowments and Rukumolu, that's in charge. Kamsa doesn't know what charity is. He cannot spell it properly. Since it is too much of a trouble for him, he appointed somebody to look after it and he said, you look after all the social development. It seems people have to be happy, they have to be fed. I don't know why, but anyway, it seems that's what they say. And you look after all that. Don't bother me. You look after them. To me, if I can kill everybody, that is fine. But since I can't do it, then I won't have anybody to rule over. You keep them well fed. He had appointed Akrura in that position. And he had a lot of respect for Akrura. He thought, I should get Akrura to go and bring Krishna from there. Another reason, Akrura was a cousin to Vasudeva. Akrura was a sort of a cousin to Vasudeva. Everybody seemed to be related. He told Akrura, you go and bring Krishna here. He knows Swarthan Thariyam of Arthatantran. He called Akrura, caught hold of Akrura, Grihitva Padina Panim Akrurare Vango. Akrurare, please come. Bho Dhanapate. Oh my dear Akrura, please come. Now Akuran behind the bit. Why is Kamsa saying, dear Akrura, please come? This is not like Kamsa, something dal mein kuch kala hai. Yes, what do you want? You know, just as Indra depends on Vishnu, I depend on you. Romba suspicion increased. Something this fellow is going to do. What is he going to do? He said, go to Nandagopa's settlement. Nandavrajam. Go to Nandavrajam and bring Rama. There are two fellows there called Rama and Krishna. Bring them here. Why? Akrure, I found out the Devas, with the help of Vishnu, have hatched a great conspiracy to kill me. And this fellow Krishna is the most important instrument of my death. The angel of my death. And he is growing up there. I want the fellow to come here and come and fall into my trap. Adhikaha, you know what I have done? I have first organized my elephant Kuvaliyapida. He can destroy an army by himself. That one fellow for Krishna I have kept. Suppose by some chance he escapes Kuvaliyapida, then I have arranged all these wrestlers to kill him. They all resemble thunderbolts in their power, they will kill him. Even after that, if he is still there, the armies are there to take care. Anyway, I have dispatched that horse Keshi. Adanala, I have got this foolproof plan with many fallback options. Otherwise, there is no way this fellow can escape. But for all of that, I need you. Because you have to bring that fellow here, then I can execute him as per my all these traps. And after that, once I've killed that fellow, my next plan is to kill Vasudeva and Devaki, cheaters. I think my old father, Ugrasena, I put him in prison, but still he keeps crying from there. I can kill him also. Apra Devaka. The Devaki in Appa Otarkan, Devaka. Our next Devaka. Children, even the list of he's kept a list, bucket list. Making many people kick the bucket is his bucket list. Kill all of them. After that, my father-in-law Jarasandha is there, my friend Dvivida Asuras are all there, along with them Shambhara Asuras is there, Narakasura is there, Banasura is there, my friends. Children. Shambharo Narako Bano Mayeva Krita Sauhridahan. I am friends. Along with all these Asuras, I will take care of all the opponents and dissidents and so on. Now you know my purpose. You have to go quickly and bring those fellows. Bring them. When do you want me to go? Go now itself. Don't delay. Go now itself. Bring the fellow tomorrow. Everything is arranged. I will arrange for everything now. Parthar, Akrura said, all right, I will go. Initially, Akrura got ready to go. Adukulla, Casey went there. Nothing more to report. Casey went there and that was it. Like everybody else before him, he also died. Methods alone different. One was torn apart, one was flung around, one was beaten. Methods were different. End was all the same. Means are different, ends are the same. So we will leave that bit be. Again, the Akrura is getting ready to go. Kalambarar, Akrura, the entire night was spent in anticipation of work. He could not sleep. Early morning, he left, but the whole night was spent in Akruro picha tamratrim madhupurya mahamatihi ushitva ratamastaya prayayo nandagokulam. Whole night was spent in thinking, on the way also he is thinking, what tapasya did I do? What charity did I do to all these people? I am going to be seeing Keshava today. Keshi Sudaran. I am going to be seeing Bhagavan today. He is one of those people who knew the secret of Bhagavan's avatar. Nanum Bhakaporena, even I am going to go and see Bhagavan today. What good fortune has come upon me. All these days I have hated Kamsa. I have only considered Kamsa to be a wicked wretch. Today I have to thank Kamsa. He is like a guru to me. He is showing the way to Bhagavan. Otherwise, how would a person like me have got the opportunity to go bring Bhagavan? He thinks I am going to bring Bhagavan to his death and doom, but little does he know he is the one who is going to die. Bhagavan is going to be successful. Akrura doesn't have any doubt. Adanala porar those Yadarchitam Brahma Bhavadibhi Suraihi Shriya cha Devya Munibhi Sasatvataihi. Those feet that have been worshipped by Brahma, by Shiva, by Mahalakshmi, by all the great Mahatmas, I am going to go and see those feet. I am going to fall upon those feet. With those feet, he is walking along in Vrindavanam, tending to cattle. Drakshyami nunam sukapola nasikam Smitavaloka runakanjalochanam. Today I will be able to behold that beautiful face of Krishna with those curly locks, with those beautiful reddish eyes that are filled with compassion. Now, Bapene, I am going to see Krishna. I am going to see Krishna, I am going to see Krishna. Adukapram, what will I do? On seeing Krishna, what will I do? Niyojikirar, I will go and fall at his feet. I will jump down from the chariot and go and prostrate in front of them. I will bow down, not only in front of them, in front of Sakeen Vanau Kasaha. The Akrura Bhavamat. Atavaruda Sapadisha Yorathat Pradana Pumsa Pumsos Charanam Swalabdhaye. Diya Dhritam Yogi Virapyaham Dhruvam Namasya Abhyam Cha Sakeen Vanau Kasaha. I will go and fall at the feet of Krishna. I will go and fall at the feet of Balarama. No, I will go and fall at the feet of all the Gopalas also. They have spent time with him. I will go and fall at all their feet. And I will lie flat on his feet until he calls me. Until he beckons me to get up, I will lie there. But after all, I am a servant of Kamsa, a cruel fellow like Kamsa. Adanala, will he accept me? Will he reject me? What will he call me? Will he call me Akrura nu Kubduana? Will he call me by name Akrura because really I am a devotee of his, so you should call me Akrura? Illa Chittappa nu Sholvana, or will he call me uncle? Will he reject me? Will he embrace me? Will he hold my hands? What will he do? What is going to happen? What is going to happen? And the constant and the entire journey was filled with so much anticipation, meditation, Anusandhana Bhakti. Akrura, thinking in this manner, crossed the river Yamuna, entered the other side, entered into the forests of Vrindavanam. Anga Partha, he could see footprints on the sand. All the people have walked there earlier, footprints are there. The footprints of Bhatodane, Krishna should have walked upon these sands earlier. He stopped the chariot, jumped down from the chariot and began to roll on the sand. Angasangamam erpadudume, let these feet that have received the obeisances of all the deities are walked upon this. Here is the foot dust of my Bhagavan. Abdini choli gudichana. Praboramunyangri rajamsyaho iti. These are the dust particles that have been walked by my Bhagavan, my Prabhu ni choli. He jumped and rolled. Even today in Vrindavanam, people they go to this particular place and roll on the dust. We may think there will be no dust remaining. The dust that originally Krishna walked upon will not be remaining because so many people have rolled and they have taken it away now. The dust that Bhagavatas have rolled is there for us also to go and roll now. Namakku munnadi, the Bhagavatas that rolled, their dust is also equally his dust. It was already evening by the time he reached there. Urundu. Ivar urundu varthukula shakala maadiddu. By the time Akrura rolled his way to Nandagopa's settlement, it was evening. The evening time, Bhagavan has brought all the cows back after grazing. He has gone and had his evening bath and has worn new clothes, fragrant sandalwood paste, etc. Balarama and Krishna are standing watching the cows being milked. Rathata kondu vandu nirutharar. Akrura drives his chariot, gets down, sees this sight, sees Krishna and Balarama standing in distance. Again, he has planned. He jumps down from the chariot, or upsurge of bhakti, goes running and throws himself like a log. Papata charano pante dandavat Ramakrishna yoho. He falls flat at Bhagavan's feet. I will not get up until he calls me. Earlier, Bhagavan odane bent down and Akrurare, Chittappa, rendu julipta. Akrura, uncle, lifted him up. Embraced him. Akrura continued on, Bhagavan embraced. Munna pinna theriyadu. Aro pusha aalu vandirka. Andha vallam kattipaada. Now Bhagavan knows who has come. Adanala Bhagavan welcomes Akrura, embraces him. What does Bhagavan not know? ye yatamam prapadyante tam sateva bhajamyaham jayamani jaisa bhavataya taisa anubhava, as is the feeling in your heart, so is the response from the Lord. Bhagavan welcomes him, takes him to his house, leads him to his house and says, I know everything. I know everything. Don't worry. I will handle everything. I know why you have come. I know. Alas, Bhagavan adukkum add pandran. Bhagavan oda leela eppume or maya leela. What does Bhagavan do? I know everything. Alas, my parents are suffering there. It pains my heart to think that I was the cause of so much suffering for them. I will go there and solve all this problem. I will come there and I will kill Kamsa and release my parents from their sorrow. He said that here. Now comes the big bombshell. The news that Krishna is going to leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura is slowly spreading everywhere in Vrindavan. Akrura has come to take Krishna to Vrindavan, to Mathura. The Gopikas were struck with so much grief and anguish, like a thunderbolt falling upon them. Our Krishna is going to go. The boys did not know much. They thought they were also going with Krishna. So they didn't feel so bad. But the girls knew instinctively, these Gopikas knew, Bhagavan is leaving us and going. Adukulla even more so, Yarunna, Yashodamma. How she led her life before Krishna was born, even she did not know. She also got up in the morning, she also milked the cows, she also ran the household, something she did. Anal, the day this fellow came into her life, from that moment onwards, her life itself is only Krishna. My Krishna, my Krishna, my child Krishna, my child Krishna, and she has been bringing him up. Suddenly a news reaches her, he is actually not even your child at all, he is Devaki's child. How will she feel? Leah, not your child, Devaki's child, now he has to go back there. He was merely lent out to you. Idi vinda madri ukandandruka Yashoda. Yashoda is sitting there as though her world has come crashing down upon her. Bhagavan knows everything. Leya, Bhagavan kellam theriyum. Bhagavan comes there. This is a very painful part, and I am going to move a little quickly through it. Otherwise, those of you who have heard the Saptaham before know how everybody ultimately ends up sobbing after listening to this piece. I'll quickly rush through. Yashoda sitting there in such grief. Bhagavan comes there. Amma, as usual, Amba kupta. Amma. With tears in her eyes, Yashoda looked up and said, Kana, Krishna, that term is now only for Devaki. She is your mother, it seems. I am not your mother, it seems. You are going to go away to Mathura, it seems. Appadinu sonna, Bhagavan knew no words can satisfy her. Adanala what Bhagavan did, Bhagavan quietly went and sat on her lap. Bhagavan went and sat on Yashoda's lap, reached out with his hands and held her cheeks and said, is it ever possible that you will stop being my mother and I will stop being your child? Never, Abdinna, Yashoda, impossible for that to happen. Never ever, Abdinna. Then why are you saying these words? No matter how many centuries pass, I will always be known as Yashoda Krishna. Yashoda Nandana Krishna andane ellarum solluva enne. Yashoda ke bala andane they will sing about it. Adanala why are you ever worried? And now you are going to go away from me. Abdinu Yashoda cholle, Bhagavan, Ivalanala, several times in those 11 years that she spent with Krishna, she had already reached that stage of understanding the truth of who Krishna is. Krishna forcibly brought her back out of it. Now came the time, now he simply touched her, and with that touch, he transported her into that sthiti of samadhi where she clearly understood who this Krishna is. The realization that the Gopikas had, Nakalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akila Dehina Mantaratma Drakna. You are the Antaratma, Antaryami, the Atma that is present. Who can ever be separated from themselves? Who can be separated from one's own self? You can be separated from everybody else, but you can never be separated from yourself, Ilaya. And the yourself is Krishna. How can you ever be separated from Krishna? This jnana comes to Yashoda with one touch of Bhagavan. Angaye abdiye Shanti comes to Yashoda. She wipes her tears. Jnana balam has come. She wipes her tears and she says, Krishna, get ready. You have to go. Long journey tomorrow. Come get ready. Motherly attitude is still there. Sorrow has gone away. Affection has not gone away. She attained jnanam. She understood Krishna as her very self. So what? The motherly affection never changed. Adanala she got everything ready for Krishna. Kalambada Krishna naleki. Odamallam paathukoda chamatta challame. Look after yourself. Rohini is also going along with Balarama. Anala she called Rohini. Rohini, you're going to go and join your husband Vasudeva. I'm very happy for you. Anga pona nama koyandalukku onnum theriyade. Our children don't know anything. They do not know the city ways. They've been growing up in the village, forest and village. They have not even gone to school. Mathura is a big city, metropolis. Anga pona city culture is different. Our boys won't know anything. Look after them properly. Make sure that they eat on time. Make sure that they sleep on time. Ellam paathuko. What am I saying all of these things for? Amam Bhagavan, who needs to guide him on anything? He knows everything. Plus Devaki is going to be there to look after. Kalamugo, you all leave. The viraham, the sorrow of separation from Bhagavan is very painful. Those who have felt that pain alone can know what that pain is, how the heart feels as though it is being squeezed, wrung like a wet cloth. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa defines it exactly as it feels. ஒரு ஈரத்துணி எடுத்து புழிஞ்சா எப்படி இருக்குமோ அந்த மாதிரி ஹிருதயத்தை புழியறா போல இருக்கும் இந்த விரக துக்கம். But jnana is the only thing that can remedy that viragam. Jnana alone can put an end to the deep-seated sorrow of viragam. But having said that, if that viragam should make its appearance in anybody's heart, jnana will automatically follow. That is what happens for Yashoda. The intensity of pain that she suffered on the news that Krishna is going to leave moved him then and there to bestow jnana upon her. All the preparations were made. Yashoda attained that peace, and the Gopikas could not. Did they not know he was Parabrahman? They knew he was Parabrahman. They knew he was Parabrahman, but they had their own view. This body, we are the Atma. Krishna, we are the Atma, but we have this body. Why is this body? This body is for you. We had this body, we decorated this body, we dressed up this body, we looked after this body, we did all of this knowing we are not the body, only so that this body can be there to serve you. If you are not going to be there, there is no need for this body also. Now we will drop this body. If you go, we will drop this body. Why? There is no need for the body. They have transcended the body. So they all got together the next morning when Akrura's chariot, Bhagavan got into the chariot. Nandagopa and all the other men had prepared many carts with pots of milk and yogurt and butter, etc., and ghee, etc., for the yajna, as per the orders of Kamsa. Everything was getting ready to go. Krishna was in the chariot of Akrura. As the chariot left, the Gopikas came there and blockaded the entire street. They did not let the chariot go. Everybody stood there. Krishna, no need for us to live. Why should we live? They looked at Akrura. Akrura naam pair ivanukku. Akrura yaar vechalo, endha muhurthathila ivanukku indha pair vechalo. Who named him Akrura? He is the most Krura person who is taking Krishna away from us. Krishna, go if you must, but over our dead bodies, Sabrina. Literally. Apom, Bhagavan looked at all of them. Valapatha Chirshinde Shonnan. Comforted them. Bhagavan Shonnan. Your bodies may not be precious to you, it is very precious to me. It is very precious to me. I want you all to be well, because don't think this is our last meeting. We will meet again. We will meet again. And when we meet again, I want to see you all as I have always seen you. Adanala, even though you may not consider the well-being of your body, I consider it important to me. Adanala, preserve it for my sake. Live for me. Easy to die for me. Live for me and show to this world what it means to live for God. 100 years later, Bhagavan is going to meet the Gopikas. For 100 years, he is not going to meet them. 100 years later, he is going to meet them. And the they are all going to come running to see him. How are they? Exactly as he left them, they were going to be. The bhakti, the prema, the intensity had not lessened even a jot in 100 years. 11 years of spending time with Krishna sustained them for 100 years. The bhakti did not lessen. They did not take him casually even once. Their life was filled with Krishna, 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 Krishna Mayam. That is why the Gopikas are still revered as bhaktas, the greatest bhaktas. Aho Nandavrajastrinam Padarenam Abhikshnashaha. We worship these Gopikas because of that sustained prema that they had for Krishna. Avla prema yarukirku sollungo. Yosche parungo. Think about it. We are listening to Saptaham. We are also feeling moved, transported with so much bhakti, so much intensity. We also have, Anna, give 1 more week, give 2 more weeks. Where will this intensity be? Gopikas are not like that. 100 years they don't see Krishna, but the exact feeling that they had the day he left is the feeling with which they go back to meet him. Appadi oru prema. Bhagavan tells them, I will come back, I will see you. 2 sentences he says, I will come and I will see you. He doesn't, physically never comes back to Vrindavanam. Physically never comes back to Vrindavanam. He leaves Vrindavan, never comes back to Vrindavan again. Although Mathura was just across, but he doesn't come back. He is finished. Anna, finally he is going to come once. When Radha is ready to merge into him, he will come at that time and accept her into him. Otherwise, Bhagavan never returned. Bhagavan went off to Mathura. A chariot started with hearts that were laden with grief. Looking at the chariot draw away slowly, Gopikallam Pakara Pranane Porde. Irunu Shuliptu Petane. How cruel. How cruel he is. If he had told us, die along with me, it would have been so much easier. We would have died then and there. Anal, he has given us the punishment, life sentence, he has given us live. He is gone away. How am I going to live without him? Anna, Bhagavan never stops thinking about the Gopikas. Even though he is going to Vrindavan, he is never going to stop thinking about the Gopikas. We will see how he thinks about them later on. Anna, for now, they have to endure this painful separation from Bhagavan. They stand there looking at the chariot until they can no longer see it. Pour the bee in the chariot. Nanda Nandana Navanita Chora Nanda Nandana Navanita Chora Gokula Bala Venu Gopala Gokula Bala Venugopala Mathura Nath Hare Krishna Gopala Mathura Nath Hare Krishna Gopala Shyama Gopala Sai Gopala Shyama Gopala Sai Gopala Vanamali Giridhare Shyama Gopala Gokula Bala Venugopala. No one knew who started this song. One by one the gopis recounted all the leelas of Krishna, the time that they spent with Krishna, Venugopala and Gokula Bala. Now he is going to be Mathura Natha, but Anniki Namakagi, he lifted up the mountain. He used to wear the garlands of wild flowers that we used to make for him. Ha Krishna! They are standing there looking. Mathura Natha. All these bhajans we feel as though they've been composed when the gopis are looking at Krishna going away. Gopala Mathura Natha Gopala Gokula Bala Gopala Goparipala Gopala 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 Murali Manohar Shyama Gopala 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 They are singing his glories, calling out his name, knowing that even if they call, he is not going to return physically. But the name is the only thing they have now to comfort them, to support them. Krishna Leela, Krishna Nama, Krishna Guna, repeatedly calling out Gopala, Gopala, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna is the only way in which they can sustain their living. Adanala they are calling out to him in these ways. Suppose suddenly one gopi turns to the other and says, Andy, we are all crying, thinking about Krishna going. Did anybody think about Yashodamma? Did anybody think about how that Yashoda would be feeling? Everybody rushed to Yashoda's house. Yashoda was sitting outside on the porch. With her hand resting on her cheek like this. Lost in thought, Yashoda is sitting. All the gopis go there and stand there. Yo Yashodamma, how we envied you. We thought you were so lucky, you got Krishna as your son. Anal, now that Krishna has gone away, how are you going to feel, Amma? What can we say? How can we help you? How can we support you? We are selfishly thinking about our sorrow. Yo, Yashoda's sorrow. Chitta chora Yashoda ke baar Navanita chora Gopal 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 Govardhana Dhara Gopal. They all came and cried in front of Yashoda. Yashoda looked up at them and said, why are you all crying? Why are you crying? What has happened? Why are you crying? Both you know and I know who Krishna is. What are we crying for? This is not how we should sing this. Then how na? Chitta chora Yashoda ke baal Navanita chora Gopal 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 Govardhana Dhara Gopal 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 Govardhana Dhara Gopal. She started to turn the entire scene around and said, let us all sing, let us celebrate. Krishna is not gone. Krishna cannot go. Where can he go? Krishna is a body. Krishna is Atma Swarupa. Where can Atma go? Where can he ever go? Yashoda is giving Upadesham to all the Gopikas. Gopikas cheered up. They also know. The Atma Dhan Irundalum Yenna Abdiyanna. Then Premiyoda Rasam. See, when you have Bhakti and Jnana, both you can take turns in being both this and that. You can have Shoka Rasam and sing, Yo Krishna, you're gone away. After some day, where did you go? You're here only. Let us enjoy both. Yeah, life is filled with only one flavor. And ice cream mangi chapter, etana flavor chapter. Plain vanilla is the only ice cream. We like chocolate ice cream, butterscotch ice cream. Derwent Valley raspberry with white chocolate. Salted macadamia. Mango kulfi. So many flavors are there in life. Enjoy all the flavors. Shoka Rasam is also a rasam. It is so sweet to cry for Krishna. There is nothing sweeter than crying for Krishna. Ananda Rasam. Bitter sweet. At the same time, the joy of knowing Bhagavan is always omnipresent in our heart, can never leave us. Krishna Katha, Krishna's life itself is a mixture of all the various bhavas, various different feelings. Prema Rasam, Vatsalya Bhavam, Shanta Bhavam, Sakya Bhavam, Dasya Bhavam, Madhurya Bhavam, Appadini Ella Bhavam, Kalanda Adichi Chapadalam Krishna Noda. We should not restrict ourselves to any one thing, enjoy everything. Sad songs also are there for Krishna. At the same time, Bada Chitta Chora Brindavana Sanchara Gopala Gopala He Murali Gopala. The song is Anandamana songs. Krishna's chariot goes away. As they are going, Anganadula, our Akrura, who is driving the chariot, Krishna and Balarama are sitting in the chariot. They are going ahead fast up or up. Pinadi, the bullock carts are coming a bit slowly. Chariot is going fast. Zurrun for the Tesla car mari. Somewhere, you have to, Tesla car can go fast, but then you have to charge it every once in a while. Charge Sandhyavandanam time came for Akrura, evening time came, Akrura wanted to do Sandhyavandanam, Krishna Chana, Krishna, Sandhyavandanam made to do train. Very funny to Arum. Go to Sandhyavandanam, Nagapata, Yamuna bank, Tuckni went and had a quick dip to do Sandhyavandanam. As he entered into the water, Parthal, what did he see? A beautiful sight he sees. The serpent, long big serpent, Adisesha reclining upon. Adisesha was the supreme being, Mahavishnu himself. deep blue in complexion, wearing the yellow silk garments, as usual. Neelambaram visashvetam shringai shvetam ivastitam. All the different gods, the devas are all standing there. Bhagavan is giving darshan to him in this manner. Tasyotsange ghanashyamam pita kausheya vasasam purusham chaturbhujam shantam padma patrarunekshanam charu prasannavadanam charu hasanirikshanam subrunnasam charu karnam sukapola arunadharam. Abdina Bhagavan reclining there with the beautiful reddish lips, his lotus like eyes, dark complexion, 4 arms, each one of them holding different Chakra, Chakra, Gada, etc. Everything. Vachinda Bhagavan is reclining there on the serpent bed as he is seen in Sri Vaikuntham. Abdiya Bhagavan gives darshan onne undada face mata nama Krishna mariye irukku. Photoshop panna madiri irukam. Face alone seems to have been photoshopped. Krishna's face, everything else is Narayana, ana Krishna's face. Bhakarar ennadhu. Appo he turns back, pata Krishna and Balarama sitting on the chariot talking. Hey, Krishna is here. How did he come here? Where is he? Abdi ningim mangim bhakarar. Sandhyanam uttutar. Forgot Sandhyanam, came running back to Krishna. He came running back to Krishna. Pathodane Krishna looked at Akrura and said, Akrura, what did you see? Vishan Patamari Vandele. What happened? Abdinar. Avar Chonar, Napatu Parkadalil Pallikonda Parandama Partipuri Lavadaritta Sairama Dharmam Kata Ramaniye Sairama Nilavanna Kannaniye Saishama Yuga Yugat Daivam Niye Parandama Katarulvai Karunakara Sairama Katarulvai Karunakara Sairama Parkadalil Pallikonda Parandama. Krishna, you have given me such a beautiful darshan. I know now. I thought you were this. I almost was sure. But this divine vision has done something to me, transformed me. Hidane and the Bhagavan. Abdini, he fell at Bhagavan's feet. Praised Bhagavan with a great stuti. Our children, Nidan Namaste Vasudevaya Namasankarshanaya cha. Namaste Raghuvaryaya Ravanantakaraya cha. Nidane Raman, Nidane Krishnan. Abdina Ellam praised him in all of these ways. Bhagavan heard his entire long praise. Ellam ketu to Bhagavan said, Kanambalama. Abdinar Bhagavan said, let us go now. Chariot went on. Akrura could hardly control his joy. He took Bhagavan in, went into Mathura. Mathura was decorated completely, fully decorated. Why was Mathura decorated? Did Mathura know Krishna was coming? Kamsa got all of Mathura decorated for the sake of the yajna. Mathura is ready to receive her Lord. Mathura is waiting for Bhagavan to come in. All the people of Mathura are waiting for Bhagavan to come in. Bhagavan is coming in. Anna, they are decorating Mathura as though some big event is going to happen. What is the big event? Mathuradipati is going to come inside Mathura. The real Mathuradipati is coming. Then Mathura is festooned, decorated beautifully. Bhagavan walks in. Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. Abdina, Bhagavan walks into Mathura. Akrura says, Swami, you can come to our house and stay there. Illa, I have other work to do. Near Pom, you go. I will come later to your house. I am going to stay here one day. I will come to your house. Now you go. I have other important tasks to do. Abdiya, Shri Bhagavane, I will take leave of you now. I am sad to part from you already, but all right. I know that I will see you again. I will meet you again. He goes to his house. Along with. He waited there for all the other boys to join him. Other Gopas and all came. Pasangala Kutindu with all the other boys, Bhagavan entered into Mathura Jammanupuram, Mathura Kula. Nabakam Balarama, all the boys and Krishna entering into Mathura. Abdi, as Bhagavan was walking into the streets of Mathura, all the people of Mathura stopped whatever it is that they were doing and turned to look at Bhagavan. Why not? Now Manmata Manmatahan, Bhagavan has got so much charm built into him. Drishti Chittapaharinam Abhinna Bhagavan has got such a beautiful charm to him that when he enters into it, all eyes automatically turn towards him. Ellarum Pakara. Captivating the hearts and the minds of the people of Mathura, Bhagavan walked along when he saw a washerman coming along, carrying clothes of the finest texture and tailoring. Bhagavan looked at him, "Oi, you have such beautiful clothes. We have come from the forest. We are all guests of the king. We have been invited by Kamsa. Adanale, we could do with some good clothes. Why don't you give us some of the clothes you have? We will reward you well." That man was Kamsa's own washerman. Veru dhobi da. He was only washerman, but royal washerman. Royal dhobi. Adanale, a bit of royal arrogance had rubbed on to him. Jonnan, haha, yeah. You wear these fine fancy clothes when you go traipsing in the hills, is it? You want these clothes? These are all king's clothes. Keep quiet. Watch what you say. If I so much as signal with my hand, the guards will come and strip you of the little rags you are wearing also. Abdinna, Bhagavan didn't like the way he spoke. Bhagavan has spent 11 years in Vrindavan. Krishna, 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 ellarum Krishna thuki vechindala. Finally he came, first fellow he encountered is saying, "Hey," Abdinna. Krishna pudikila adala. Enna idu? Adana, what did Bhagavan do? Abdinna, Maliya thukinan liya, he lifted up a mountain. What is this washerman? Abdiye chumma alaka, Bhagavan simply decapitated him with his fingers. Abdi panna, fellow's head fell down. முடிஞ்சு போச்சு, கதையே முடிஞ்சு. அப்படிதான் ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னா போயிட்டோம். Bhagavan made sure he fell the other side and not all the clothes. அப்புறம் அதெல்லாம் அழுக்காடுமே. அதனால clothes were all still good. Bhagavan took the clothes, he wore some of them, gave it to the others. டேய் பசங்களா போட்டுக்கோங்க மாட்டா எல்லாரும். Wear all these clothes அப்படின்னா. So the fellows dressed themselves up nicely. எல்லா ராயல் clothes இல்லையா அதெல்லாம் அப்படி போட்டு. இந்தியன் clothes ப்ராப்ளமே கிடையாது. One size fits all. Western clothes you have to get them tailored to your size. India என்ன வெறும் வேஷ்டி தானே, சும்மா ஒரு கட்டு கட்டினா எல்லாருக்கும் ஒன்று தானே. All vesties come in the same size. என்ன ஒரு 8 முழம் 9 முழம் அவ்வளவுதான் வித்தியாசம். So Indian clothes are very easy to wear. You don't need to get them tailored too much. அதனால யாரோட clothes எடுத்துட்டா Bhagavan wore it. அதை பார்த்த உடனே, as Bhagavan was doing this, there was a weaver, he used to weave shawls. That was his profession, and he used to weave shawls for Kamsa also. Very good weaver he was. He saw this entire event, he came there and said, "You have dealt with that man in the perfect way." Very egoistic fellow he was. Bhagavane, I make these shawls for the king, but I think you are better person to wear these. Here, please accept these shawls. Bhagavan was very happy. No, this Bhagavan is back to what he's used to. People used to come on their own and offer everything to Bhagavan. Good. Bhagavan blessed him. May you have strength, health, beauty, wisdom, prosperity. Ellam kuduthan Bhagavan. Took the shawl, wore the shawl upon himself, gold embroidered shalala, and he gave it to the other boys also. Ellam eppadi pothikirunu kuda theriyadu. Ellam onu eppadi pothikiradhu, onu appadi pothikiradhu. Ana munna pena pannanna padakam. Bhagavan enamo nagarigama podukaran. Bhagavan knows everything. Kritamanu gopa unmadandaha, yes, gopavadvaha ennu sonnalaya. The gopis used to follow him and they became the envy of even the apsara stris because he was so finely cultured. Even our Swami, if you take our Swami for instance, Swami was born and brought up in Puttaparthi. Puttaparthi Kuggramam, கிராமத்திலையும் கிராமம் குக்கு கிராமம் அது. Small tiny hamlet, அதெல்லாம் பார்த்தா old photos you see how people are looking in that. And he did not go to any school, no private school, ஒன்றும் போல. பாதி ஸ்கூல் ட்ராப் அவுட் வேற. ஆனால் the refinement that Swami had, the way he would speak, the way he would carry himself, the deportment, அப்படி ஃபைன்லி கல்ச்சர்ட் அப்படி இருக்கும் சுவாமியோடது இல்லையா? யூ சீன் அந்த மாதிரி கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு வாட் டஸ் ஹி நாட் நோ? ஃபைனாக நடந்து வரான், ஜம்முன்னு ஹி இஸ் கம்மிங் ஆஸ் தோ ஹி இஸ் த ரியல் ராயல்ட்டி. ஹி இஸ் ஆனால் ரியல் ராயல்ட்டி மாதிரி பகவான் இஸ் வாக்கிங் இன். அப்போ தெர் வாஸ் அ garland maker, a florist. His name was Sudama. He used to make garlands for Krishna, for the people there. Adhile we saw Krishna coming, walking அப்படி வந்த உடனே he took the best garlands that he had ever made and took them to Krishna, fell at his feet and said, Swami, I don't know, but as soon as I see you, I feel all these garlands should be adorning you. Please accept these garlands. I have made them specially for King Kamsa for tomorrow's function. Anal, I feel that you are the best person for all of these. Please accept it. அதனால பகவான் wore the garland, looking at the love that he had. Otherwise Bhagavan would not have accepted prema dhane. For the sake of the prema, Bhagavan accepted it and wore it. ராமாவதாரத்தில் he did not accept anything. கிருஷ்ணாவதாரத்தில் கொண்டான்னு கேட்டு வாங்கினான், திருடி தின்னான், யார் என்ன கொடுத்தாலும் போட்டுண்டான். ஏன்னா பக்த வாத்சல்யம், accessibility. I am a great man, I will not accept anything from anybody. நீயே கிரேட்டாக இருக்கு, அப்புறம் நான் எனக்கு என்ன வருது? இப்போ நான் எனக்கும் உனக்கு என்ன கனெக்ஷன்? அப்புறம் somebody pointed out, one of the children came and told me, Appa, Rama seems to have made friends only with kings. ஏன்னா குஹா is my friend, குஹா is the king of Shringiveerapuram. Sugriva is my friend, Sugriva is king of Kishkinda. ஏன் ஹனுமான ஃப்ரெண்டுன்னு சொல்ல வேண்டியதானே? அவன் தாசன், நான் விபீஷணா இஸ் மை ஃப்ரெண்ட் அப்படின்னா அந்நியமாக இருக்கேன். எல்லாம் கிங்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸாக இருக்குன்னா. கிருஷ்ணனோ அப்படி இல்லை. கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு எல்லாரும் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் தான். எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் ஃபார் கிருஷ்ணா. ஹி வில் மேக் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வித் த கோபிகாஸ், ஹி வில் மேக் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வித் த கோபாலாஸ், ஹி வில் மேக் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வித் த கிங்ஸ், ஹி வில் மேக் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வித் த பிராமணாஸ். சுதாமா இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஹிஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட், உத்தவா இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஹிஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட், அர்ஜுனா இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஹிஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட், கோபாலாஸ் ஆர் ஆல்சோ ஹிஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட். எல்லாம் ஃப்ரெண்டு தான் கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு. சௌலபியம் தான் கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு. ஆக்சஸ், எவ்ரிபடி கேன் ஹேவ் ஆக்சஸ் டு கிருஷ்ணா. இன்றைக்குமே கிருஷ்ணன் தானே நமக்கு. கிருஷ்ணன்னு தானே சொல்கிறோம், கிருஷ்ணர்னே சொல்ல மாட்டோமே. ராமர்ம்போம், கிருஷ்ணன்னும்போம் இல்லையா? இன் தமிழ், when we end a person's name with ir, that means we are giving respect to that person. When we end his name with in, we are not giving respect to him. This is a peculiarity of Tamil language. So when we say Krishna, generally in Tamil we say Krishnan, Kannan அப்படி தான் சொல்லுவோம். ராமர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். When we speak of Rama, we will say ராமர். நரசிம்ஹர் அப்படிம்போம். ஏன்னா அவர் குரும்பர் இல்லைன்னா நரசிம்மன் அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா? யாராவது ஆள் பேர் வச்சுட்டாங்கன்னா நரசிம்மன் சொல்லுவோமே தவிர, பகவானை சொல்லும்போது நரசிம்ஹர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். நரசிம்மனை, நான் நரசிம்மனை சேவிச்சேன், நரசிம்மர் அப்படின்பா. ராமர் அப்படின்பா. ஆனால் கிருஷ்ணன், கண்ணன் அப்படி இந்த பயன்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஏன்னா அந்த சௌலபியம், பகவான் லவ்ஸ் டு பி ட்ரீட்டட் லைக் தட் by all of us. He doesn't like to be put upon a huge high pedestal and worshipped. He would rather be loved by all of us. That's Bhagavanoda oru saulabhyam. Bhagavan accepted those garlands. Sudama was also given a host of blessings. Bhagavan walked along and he saw a woman. This woman was very peculiar. Yenna, fate had given her a very beautiful face. Charming beauty in the face. Body was twisted and deformed. She was a hunchback. A hunchback with a beautiful face. She was carrying a plate of fine perfumes and anguvans in her hand. And she was a perfumer. She used to make the perfumes for Kamsa to wear. Kamsa scent எல்லாம் அவதான் பண்ணி கொடுப்போம். Sandalwood எல்லாம் வச்சு, aloe, sandalwood இதெல்லாம் வச்சு she used to make fine perfume scents. She was carrying all of those. She saw Krishna. Krishna looked at her and said, "Hey Sundari, oh beautiful woman, what are you having in your hand?" அப்படின்னு கேட்டான். அவ பார்த்தா, she looked up at Krishna. She was smitten by the beauty in Bhagavan's face. She said, "I'm carrying some of the finest perfumes here in Mathura. People call me Trivakra because I'm bent in 3 places in my body due to my deformity. I'm the royal perfumer for Kamsa." Krishna laughed. Hey, same pinch. Enna, you also make perfumes for Kamsa vanna? Illa, I'm also bent in 3 places. You're also bent in 3 places. My favorite standing pose involves me standing in such a way that I'm bent in 3 places. The neck is bent like this, hip is bent like that, legs are bent like this. Krishna flute வச்சு நிக்கும்போது அப்படிதான் இருப்பார். Tribangi Lalitakaram அப்படின்னு we call him that the bent in 3 placed form அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். எப்படி டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்றது? Tribangi Lalitakaram அழகா சொல்லிடுறோம். ஆனா bent in 3 placed form. But the scents must be really good scents. If you're the royal perfumer, now oh, best scents I'm taking for Kamsa, but forget him, you take all of them. Bhagavan laughingly took the tray, he applied it, he gave it to the boys, they applied it everywhere. Enga Boshikan Riyam Bhushindava. Thalayala tadibindu. Oru vidhila nalladhu adu. Eni kudichudho. Krishna illa micha pasangala. Bhagavan adorned himself with all those perfumes and then looked at this lady. Walked up to her, placed one foot on her foot, upon her foot, took 2 fingers and placed it under her chin, and with a smile straightened her up. The hunchback lady who was born with a deformity, Bhagavan placed 1 foot upon her foot, placed 2 hands below her chin and straightened her out. Overcome with joy, she fell at Bhagavan's feet. She said, "You have cured me. Come to my house, I will serve you willingly." Na Bhagavan laughed. அப்புறமா வரேன், I will come later. I have a lot of work to do. I will certainly come to your house. And சொல்லி later on he goes to her house. உத்தவனோட போகிறார். Saying this along with his companions, he moved along. Soon they saw the sacrificial arena, all decorated beautifully, guarded by many soldiers. Anga nera apdi lesha jaliya pona. He went inside, pata big bow was there. It was a Dhanur Yagyam. They were keeping a bow and worshipping the bow. Adha Yagyathukku. Ange endu ponan Purva Janma Vasana adichupittu pavam. Even though he has taken another incarnation, the old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. He walked up to the bow. As soon as he saw the bow, he took it up in his hands and started to string. As usual, bow broke. Luckily, there was nobody waiting to be married there. Luckily, there was nobody waiting to be married. Only this was a ceremonial bow for Yajna, huge heavy bow. Ana, like an elephant breaking sugarcane, he broke that bow. On seeing the fellow entering in like this and breaking it, all the soldiers came to attack him. He took one half of the bow and gave it to Balarama. Pudi! He threw it. Balarama caught it. Apara addi. Taking the two halves of the broken bows, they broke the backs of all of those soldiers who had come there. Apara he threw the bow. Apra dusting his arms, he went away. Casual, leaving the entire arena in shambles. This is Yajna. All the news started to spread everywhere. All the people became very happy. They thought finally the fellow who was going to relieve us from the suffering of Kamsa's reign has come. Everybody was happy. Kamsa no pavan sleepless night, tossing and turning in fear. Thungavella. Bags under his eyes when he woke up. He called everybody. All arrangements are made. Everything is made. Kuvalepida, is it ready now? Kuvalepida is an uncontrollable rage. Even if you go, it might kill you. Go the other way. Enter into the arena through the back door. Don't go through the front door. It will kill you if it sees you. Apdi your rage. Krishna got up and said, Kamsa got up, had his bath. Where are my clothes? Somebody came there and said, clothes are not there. Why? What happened? I told the washerman to bring everything ready now. Washerman's funeral is happening. Washerman cannot come. He is being cremated. Why? What about the clothes? Let the washerman go. What about clothes? No, clothes are also gone. Who? Krishna took them now. So Pava, he went into the laundry hamper and took out all the old crumpled clothes and started to wear them. Stinking. He has spent so much time sweating in fear. So at least get some perfume so that I can put some perfumes on. Sorry, there are no perfumes. Why? Krishna took them away. Bring me my shawl. I will cover all the wrinkles with my shawls. There are no shawls. Why? Krishna took them away. At least bring my garlands. Garlands are also not there. Why? Krishna took them away. Let us go to Yajna. There is no Yajna. Why? Krishna broke the Yajna. Yagyamum illa, shalayum illa, shalum illa, thuniyum illa, tundum illa, ondum illa. Enniki ulla noyanjano annike maamanu kedadal unduttu. He has not even spent one full day in Mathura yet. He just came, spent one night. Adukulla Kamsa's plight has been reduced to this. Let us go to the wrestling arena. So they went there. Mushtika, Chanura, Shala, Toshala are all ready. Nanda and others are already been gone inside the VIP enclosure. They were all sitting. Krishna and Balarama along with the boys came a bit late. Pasangana tungi late tungi. They all got up, wore nice clothes. Ella Kamsa no clothes na. Ella wearing all of nice clothes that are supposed to go gone for Kamsa. Garland and perfume and everything put in Jammu and Krishna's altar. Kuvalepida, the elephant is outside. Partha, it is like a small black hill standing there, blocking the way. Again, Krishna Mandam, hey, give way, we want to go inside. The Mahood goaded the elephant towards Bhagavan. Seeing the elephant coming charging at him, Bhagavan stood still until the elephant could almost reach him with his trunk. Even as the trunk came to snaking around his slender frame, Bhagavan ducked under, ran between the legs under the huge body of the elephant, came out from the hind legs, and then while coming, he gave one big solid strike to the elephant's tummy and then came out. The elephant turned around to catch him once again. And before the elephant could turn around, Bhagavan caught hold of its tail. And like a child playing with a toy, he started to twirl the elephant around. He's twirling it around. The enraged elephant started to trumpet loudly in anger, trying to charge at him, tucking his trunk between his two overgrown tusks. It came to gore him and trample him. Upon seeing that coming near him, Bhagavan fell on the ground on purpose. And as soon as the elephant saw Bhagavan fall, it tried to pin him between its tusks. That is the traditional way in which an elephant would kill somebody. About the moment it came to pin him, he rolled aside and frustrated it. He played a game with the elephant for some time. After that, he said, enough, pour. He took hold of the elephant by the trunk and then dashed it down on the ground, killed it, ran up its body, pulled out the tusks forcibly and killed the elephant along with the keeper and entered into the rangam, the arena. He held the tusk in his hand like this. One end was still dripping with blood and marrow. He is entering inside. All the people who are seated there are looking at this fellow coming in. Kamsa has also come. Everybody has come. This fellow is entering in, sauntering in slowly. Majestica varan. 11-year-old boy tha. Ana when he comes in, Mallanam ashanihi Nirnam naravaraha Strinam smaro murtiman Gopanam swajanaha Asadam kshitibhujam Shasta swapitro sishuhu Mrityur bhojapate Virada vidusham Tattvam param yoginam Vrishninam paradevateti vidito Rangam gata sagrajaha. Bhagavan is entering into the arena and Shuka, Sarvabhuta Hridayam Chaluvam, Shuka, seated in the hearts of all beings, is able to capture the moment when Bhagavan enters through the eyes of all the various people that are sitting there. Mallanam ashanihi, those wrestlers who have gathered there in order to pulverize him, they are gathered there. When Krishna entered, they felt as though a thunderbolt has fallen onto their heart. Mallanam ashanihi, to all the men that had gathered there. Nirnam naravaraha, to all of them it appeared as though the finest specimen of manhood had entered. Strinam smaro murtiman, all the women thought Sakshat Manmata himself has entered into the room. Gopanam swajana, to his parents it appeared as though he was their own child. Vasudeva and Nanda, he appeared as a child. To the cowherds of Raja, he appeared as though he was their own kinsman. To the ignorant, he appeared as though he was a frail, delicate boy. Virada vidusham, tattvam param yoginam. To the great yogis, he appeared as the supreme Brahma Tattvam itself walking in. Vrishninam paradevateti, to all the Vrishnis, he appeared as though their supreme Lord has come, their master has come. Mrityuhu bhojapatehe, to Kamsa, he appeared as though death himself is walking in. One Krishna walking in, but each one sees Krishna differently as per the Bhava in their hearts. Purna Sachidananda Swaruparana Bhagavan Krishna entered in. Vandan. Kamsa frantically signaled to the wrestlers, this is the fellow, quick, attack. Mushtika and Chanura were there. They came up, Chanura went up to Krishna and he said, oh, Nidane Nandanode Pulla. Looking at Kuvalayapita's tusk, it looks like you are a very strong fellow, you have killed such a big elephant, therefore it is not inappropriate for me to invite you to a battle with me, a wrestling match with me. Although I am a grown man, you are only an 11-year-old boy, but by your actions you have proven that you are equal to, you are a worthy opponent for me, therefore it is not unfair for me to fight you. Bhagavan Shirshinde Shanna, Bhagavan smiled and said, but it is a bit unfair for me to fight you. Why? When we pitch unequal contestants against each other, then it brings disrepute and sin to the organizer of the assembly. What unequal? You are equal to me. That you are not equal to me. What to do? Sherry, fine, if you want to die, all right, let us get on with it. Chanura paired off with Krishna, Mushtika took on Baladeva. They were not professionally trained wrestlers. Krishna and Balaramanam, where they wrestle? They will play with their own friends. They do not know proper wrestling. These wrestlers, on the other hand, one leg forward, one leg backward, locking elbows, locking ankles. Neck lock, striking head against head, chest against chest. As they are doing, Bhagavan is imitating, reflecting everything back on them. Shuka is also describing everything. Wrestling. Ducking and slipping from their grasp, pushing them, pulling them where appropriate, slipping them, striking hard, he broke Chanura's bones. Chanura tried to hit Krishna back with a fist. Bhagavan simply caught hold of that fist with his hand, whirling him around in such a speed that he became a mere blur to everybody seeing. Everybody started feeling dizzy looking at Chanura being twirled around. How would Chanura have felt about it? And then Bhagavan let go of him. Chanura crash landing. He died as soon as he landed. Bhagavan looked at Balarama. How long? Then and there Balarama put an end to Mushtika. Shala, Toshala, Kuta, they all came to attack. All of them also finished off. Seeing all of his prize wrestlers brought down, the others were slinking away to save their lives in fear. Kamsa became angry. He got up on his elevated platform. He had an elevated platform right on top, balcony seating. Again, he was watching this entire show. From there, he stood up and started shouting, arrest these two boys. Arrest Vasudeva, arrest Nanda, confiscate his property, kill Vasudeva, kill Ugrasena, kill everybody. Who is the fellow shouting? The fellow seems to know only one command: kill that fellow, kill this fellow, kill that fellow, kill this fellow. Kill this fellow, na Bhagavan. Since you are so fond of kill, I will kill you, na Bhagavan. Oru jump na. From here, Bhagavan took one leap. Next instant, Bhagavan landed on the balcony. Kutti balcony, panic stricken, this fellow Kamsa is trying to take his sword out. He didn't expect Krishna to suddenly jump. Suddenly Krishna jumped up. He tried to take this sword out. Before that, Krishna gave him a slap. His crown fell away. His hair became all askew. Krishna caught hold of him as though he was a mere feather. Taking him up, he threw him down from the balcony. The fellow came and fell down. Angeran the Bhagavan jumped down on top of Kamsa, killing him instantaneously. Build up Tambrish. The build-up was long, elaborate and big. In the end, Kamsa got finished like this. Priya warrior. Bhagavan went up, slapped his crown away, lifted him and threw him down, landed on him, finish. The crowds could not even believe. They thought something was going to happen. Everything was finished. They rose up in disbelief. Dragging the body of Kamsa by the hair, Bhagavan dragged the body all around the arena to show that this fellow is really dead. In this Australian Open, after they win, the fellow gets the cup. After he will take the cup and walk all around the Bhagavan didn't kiss Kamsa's body. But they take the cup and show everybody, see, I really got the cup. As though people are still in doubt. No, see, I really got the cup. Take photos. Bhagavan dragged Kamsa all around saying, I killed this fellow. Kamsa had lived his entire life constantly thinking of Krishna. He never did Namasmarana because he did not know the name. His entire thought was Krishna, 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 Krishna. In fear of Krishna, he lived his entire life. Therefore, when he died At the hands of the Lord, Kamsa attained oneness with him. That is the grace and the mercy of Bhagavan. He would give mukti to even those who hated him, feared him, were inimical to him, were even trying to kill him. We may think it is a big deal. Bhagavan is a big deal because Bhagavan is not the body. They are trying to kill me. Who is the me? Body, yeah. I am not the body. Who can kill me? So their thoughts of killing me are only innocent dreamings of a child. Bhagavan doesn't take it seriously. That is why Bhagavan doesn't take anything serious. If somebody scolds you, you become upset. Bhagavan will not become upset if you scold him. Why? Because Bhagavan doesn't associate himself with a mere body mind to become upset by your scolding. On the other hand, Bhagavan will become happy that you are thinking about him. Doesn't matter how, as long as you think about him, he is happy. Why should he be happy now? Because only then will we become emancipated by thinking about him. Gardanala, Bhagavan is happy. Kamsa was killed. Bhagavan got Ugrasena, the old king, released from prison. Vasudeva and Devaki were released. Bhagavan went and fell at their feet. Amma, Appa, Nishana. They did not know what to say because they have not seen the sun. One time they saw him, he appeared with Shankachakra Gadapadma. Thereafter he went away. Next time he came and killed that fellow who has caused so much trouble and terror to them for so many long years. This fellow has been causing heartache to Vasudeva and Devaki. In half a second he was killed. What should they make of this child? How to talk to him? How to address him? Vasudeva and Devaki were feeling so hesitant to even talk to him. Bhagavan himself fell at their feet and said, Mother, Father, their hearts melted. Their hearts immediately melted. Bhagavan knows how to handle all of us. Vashanalam, Krishna said to Devaki and Vasudeva, I am guilty of giving sorrow to you for so many long years. I was not there by your side to serve you. Alas, forgive me. Krishna cholla, Yo Krishna, what are you asking forgiveness for? They hugged Krishna. Ugrasena was reinstated upon the throne of Mathura. They wanted to offer the throne to Krishna. Krishna said, no, let Ugrasena, the grandfather, become the king. Ugrasena was made the king. Kamsa was given all the due funeral rites and sent off. Kamsa's wives were there. Asti Praptini, 2 wives were there. They were Jarasanda's daughters. Bhagavan asked them, would you like to stay back here itself or do you want to go back to your father's house? And they preferred to go back. Bhagavan sent them off with all royal honors. Thus the saga of Kamsa came to an end. Bhagavan became part of the royal household of Mathura. At that time, all the boys finally realized Bhagavan was going to leave them here. They had to go back to Vrindavan. Bhagavan said to them, go back, remember the days that we spent happily with each other. I will also never forget them. You also do not forget them. Think of me and be happy. Initially, Bhagavan sent all the boys. Nandagopa came there and cried. Krishna, Appa, wise men like you do not cry. We are forever united in our hearts. That is a real union. Even if you are with somebody, if you do not like them, how is life then? Husbands and wives come together. After some time, they cannot abide each other. They want to separate. They go and live in separate houses and divorce each other. Physical proximity alone does not mean anything. Prema in the heart is what means everything. If there is love in the heart, even if you are far away, you are very close. On the other hand, if there is no love in your heart, even if you are sitting next to each other, you are very far away from each other. Prema alone matters. Because we confuse ourselves with this body, we want this physical proximity, we give so much importance to being physically close. We think we are the body. When 2 bodies are close, we think we are close. Bodily close are close. Atma dane close arkanam. Hridayam dane close arkanam. 2 hearts should be close. 2 bodies need not be close. If they are also close, well and good. But it is more important for the hearts to be close. Giving this instruction in Upadesha to Nandagopa, Bhagavan sends all the Gopas away. The cowherds are sent away. Vasudeva has not done anything for Krishna until now. Adhanala is very clean and clear about his duties. Krishna first to Upanayam, then Krishna has to be sent to Gurukulam. Ellam plan. Devaki chona ipadan ko azhanda vandadu. You have to send him to Gurukulam already. See, 11 years of age, already too late. Nandagopa did not do anything properly. Let us quickly get everything organized. Immediately Krishna's Upanayanam, Krishna and Balarama's thread ceremony was performed. They were sent off to Sandipani Muni's ashrama in Ujjaini, Avanti. Bhagavan went there. Bhagavan also did not spend too much time studying. Vadambala. In Ramavataram, Bhagavan spent the required amount of time in Vasishtha Shashrama studying properly. And the Avatarathala Bhagavan was born, immediately sent off to Gurukulam. India, Tharudala Mari Valandadu, but Tandoni and Nathiyo Panittu. Yeah. The fellow was roaming in the forests, in the mountains. But still he had to go and study what to do. Adala Bhagavan came forcibly. He said, I will only spend 64 days. Why 64 now? Because there were 64 branches of learning. So he said, I will spend 64 days. In 64 days, Bhagavan learnt all the 64 branches of learning that were there. Hardly 2 months and 4 days. Sandipani Muni was very happy when Krishna came. Bhagavan himself has come. I am going to be Bhagavan's guru. I am going to be spending years with Bhagavan. Plan kota katinar pa. 64 days, 2 months, now I finished all my studies in African Abumudila. Yes, indeed, you have finished everything. You are going so soon, Krishna, could you not have stayed with me for a bit more time? Bhagavan said, I have lots of work to do. Chumma padichinde irundha vela nadakuma. Chaduvulanni chaduvi chavanga netiki chavule ni chaduvu chaduvavalayu bodhinchavalayu. Bhagavan does not have to study the eternal education, he has to teach it to everybody. Adanala Bhagavan has to go. Therefore, let me leave, but before leaving, I have to do some Guru Dakshina for you. I have to give some payment to you. What would you like? What Guru Dakshina would you like? I don't need anything from you. Having you as my student is enough. Krishna said, don't jump to the conclusion. Rather go consult with your wife. Go ask your wife. Sandipani said, thank you very much. I don't need anything. Being your teacher is the greatest honor for me. Krishna said, no, you ask your wife. So he went and asked her. I said, no need. Who asked you to say no need? You have always said Krishna is an extraordinary student. Therefore, you have to ask an extraordinary Guru Dakshina from him. What? Years ago, don't you remember our son died at the seashore? Ask Krishna to bring him back. Sandipani Muni said, what are you asking? How can you bring back somebody who is dead? She said, is this all you have understood of Krishna? Don't you know who he is? Or is this the faith you have in your own teachings? You go and ask Krishna for this and that. So Sandipani came and said, actually I don't want anything but my wife. Blame our reporter. He wants the son back. Is that all? Bhagavan immediately went to the seashore. Blew on his, called up dived into the ocean. Where is this fellow? There is a Rakshasa living in the depths of the sea. He had taken the form of a hermit crab, but he was not a hermit. Hermit crab, it has a big shell. And this Asura was there. Bhagavan went there and asked him, I heard you took my guru's son. He said, that is true, but he is dead. He has gone to Yamaloka. Bhagavan killed this fellow anyway. You deserve death. Bhagavan killed him, took the conch shell for himself, went straight to Yamaloka. Yama was very happy to see Bhagavan. Please welcome, Swagatam. He welcomed Bhagavan. Bhagavan also joyfully walked into Yamaloka. Nobody generally goes happily to Yamaloka. Nobody is welcomed there also, but Bhagavan was welcomed. Bhagavan went inside and said, my guru's son is here with you. Send him back. Yama immediately said, of course, according to rules I should not, but rules do not matter when the rule maker is here. Adanala, take this boy with you. Bhagavan took that boy, restored the boy to Sandipani Muni and came back to Mathura. Later on, Sandipani Muni cried and thought, alas, the Lord himself was my student, and instead of asking moksha from him, I asked for my son. But what you ask, that you get from him. Bhagavan's youthful leelas are going on. We will stop here today. When we come back tomorrow, we will see how Bhagavan sent a message with Uddhava to the Gopikas. How Bhagavan then established Dwaraka. A little bit of time if we have, we will do Ekadasha Skandam, where Bhagavan gives extraordinary Upadesha to Uddhava in the form of Uddhava Gita. Parikshit Moksham, and finally we will finish tomorrow being the last day, 7th day of our long week, Saptaham, with Rukmini Kalyanam in the evening tomorrow. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कचित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।